Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of KFFB's Open Mic program. We do have Congressman French Hill with us right now. And Congressman, I got to say that opening the program for the last program for January is kind of unique because we need to talk, or at least the last Friday of the program for the January. It seems like we thought things were going to settle down after the inauguration and all, but it seems like we've get it crazier. Is that really what's going on?
Well, Bob, it's great to be with you. Yes, I don't think we're ending January on a more calm note. President Biden campaigned on unity and bringing the country together, and now he's using an unprecedented number of executive actions, executive orders from the White House, really on some of the most divisive issues in our country to pivot back left, which is not what I think a lot of voters thought they were getting with Joe Biden. And on top of that, you've got Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying that the most dangerous thing in the House of Representatives are Republicans, and she's concerned for her safety. So we're not making progress yet. My fingers are crossed that it will happen, but it has not happened.
Well, one of those executive orders that, on this program, we have talked with all of our delegation has, over the years, have supported this. And that's the Keystone Pipeline. In the midst of one of the biggest downturns of folks working, I don't even understand why we would stop progress of something that will help us buy from those that we like, and that money from the north comes back south into America, not sending it to people that want to be down with America. Explain what's going on with this Keystone Pipeline.
Well, it's deja vu for me, like it is for you. I started running for Congress back in 2013 and 2014, and one of my first issues was, let's get the Keystone Pipeline built. Let's build it for American independence. Let's build it to reduce our reliance on oil coming from countries that hate us. Let's put Americans to work. Let's support the North American economy. All the things about it are good, and let's build it in the most environmentally sensitive way, meaning it's a lot more environmentally sensitive to transport oil in a safe, technologically designed pipeline than it is to put it on trains. And people should understand this oil is moving from Canada to the United States for refining. It's just coming by train. So 12 years, Bob, we've been fighting this. I thought we broke through with President Trump to get it moving forward, and they had started construction in 2020 when the pandemic hit.
What's going to happen to those workers and the pipeline? What is the future?
Well, we've already built 100 miles, but those pipeline workers are being told they're being laid off. And right here in Little Rock, Central Arkansas, where we make about 50% of the pipeline pipe at Wellspun at the Little Rock port, they're going to obviously face a decline in work because that's one of their biggest projects they've been working on.
Is the pipeline, is it possible it can come back?
I hope so. I don't think we should have a international, economically important, geopolitically important pipeline held up due to the whim of one person of either party, Obama, Trump, or now Joe Biden. This should be something that's decided by the states and by Congress and not in the hands of an executive order. So I've signed on to legislation that changes all of our pipeline construction with Mexico and Canada, which makes it a congressional process and takes away this ability for the president just to wave a magic pen and stop a multi-billion dollar international project between Mexico and the United States, or Canada and the United States in this case.
One thing I'm really proud of Arkansas, we have some of the best welders in the world, and there's many Arkansans that are working on that project.
Yeah, these are good permanent jobs. It's not true to say these are temporary jobs. You have the manufacturing jobs that go into it. You have the construction workers. And as you say, these pipeline welders go from pipeline to pipeline. So they're permanently a pipeline welder. It's just like saying you work on, in highway construction or home construction. It's a permanent job. You just go from job to job. And they're some of the best. And I hate to see them laid off and their families hurt by this terrible decision by Joe Biden.
Now, there's something that's really kind of unique. We know about the Capitol rioting, but there's a resolution honoring the U.S. Capitol Police. Talk about that for a moment.
Well, Ed Perlmutter is a good friend of mine. He's a Democrat who represents Denver, Colorado in the House. And we were so shocked by the trauma that the Capitol Police suffered on January 6th. We wanted to do a resolution to honor them. We lost two of them. One died in the attack, and one died from suicide later that day. And we wanted to honor these two men and honor the men and women in uniform who were defending the Capitol that day. So it's talked about their bravery, even though they had the lack of intelligence and the lack of support systems that they deserved to do their job that day. Ed and I wanted to honor them, and we've got, I think, through Friday, over 100 co-sponsors for that and growing.
Now, another one that I really thought was unique, helping a Vietnam vet, Robert Davis, receive his medals. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Bob Davis was a command sergeant in the Air Force. He served during the 50s and 60s and retired in 1975. Bob is a terrific leader in our state, even in retirement. He helps manage our Distinguished Flying Cross organization in the state, recognizing our top aviators from all the years in military aviation. Bob served in Vietnam. He was one of the first pilots of the C-130 gunship. In its earliest days in the 1950s, he served all over the world. But when he retired, he did not get his Vietnam Service Medal, and he did not get his Republic of Vietnam Cross for gallantry. And I was very proud to present those to Bob this week, and his wife Sue was there. It was a great day.
Well deserved. Well, and this is one of my favorite parts. I'm glad that we get to bring it back up this month. And that is the Golden Fleece Award.
Well, the Golden Fleece was presented to the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, because of their insanity in 2020. Just at the end of the year, they fined every local distillery $14,000 if they converted their making of vodka to hand sanitizer. Now think about that. We asked every business in America last March, please, if you can make hand sanitizer, if you can make anything that our hospital workers and our businesses need, please do it. Stop working for a profit and help your community. And they did. And Rocktown Distillery right here in Little Rock was among the first leaders to produce hand sanitizer and get it all over the city and region. Well, they woke up and got an invoice in December for $14,000 for violating some federal regulation. So I gave the FDA the Golden Fleece for that dumb move, and I'm glad the Health and Human Services Department waived the fee. I've also asked them to tell me, how do we change the law so we don't have that kind of goofiness happen again?
Seems like somebody would catch that before they send it out, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, a great guy named Phil Howard wrote a book in the 1990s called Death of Common Sense, and it's about the insanity of the American regulatory system, and this is just a classic Exhibit A.
Well, Congressman, we appreciate you taking time and keeping us in light of what's going on in the nation and also here in Arkansas, and we appreciate you talking with us on the last Friday of Open Mic.
Thanks, Bob.